Okay, so today we're going to make grilled cheese and veggie jumble. This is from HelloFresh. Today I've already washed our vegetables. We're starting off with some sweet potatoes. First thing they tell you to do is to wash them. I cut off the ends because it makes it easier to peel. And we're going to peel them today. I like to use my garbage bowl. Just peel them. So this recipe calls for basically a sweet potato per serving. And it also, they tell you to, after you peel them, then you're going to cube them up like this. So I'll show you how to do that. The best way to do that is to cut the potato or sweet potato in half. Kind of give it feet. And you cut it 2 to 3 times, or 3 to 4 times across, depending on how big your sweet potatoes are. And then you just slice them. I like to use the Suntoku knives because they have the ridges that helps the potatoes, sweet potatoes, apples, things that are kind of more of a wet vegetable, not stick so much. So then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put these sweet potatoes on our baking sheet. And then we'll cut up our red onion. That's also going on the baking sheet. I've preheated our oven to 425 degrees. My garbage bowl is my best friend when it comes to cutting things up. Helps you so that way you don't have to try to get peels of vegetables and things like that into the garbage. That way it helps keep your hands cleaner. So you just take kind of the top layer, cut the edge off. You want to keep the root end of an onion intact. It'll be easier for you to slice it, peel it, dice it, however, whatever you have to do. Not peel it, sorry. Slice it or dice it. This one, they want big chunks. Kind of. Try to peel kind of the first layer. Our oven is ready. That is good. So basically, I'm just going to cut these down the middle and kind of chunk them. Break them apart a little bit so that way when you're roasting the vegetables, they can get well roasted. Now I did not have a lot of olive oil, so we need a little bit of canola oil to actually kind of spread on this. Ooh, a little too much. So if you actually put a little too much, you just kind of mix them around in it. Onions always get my eyes watering. I don't know about you. If you guys have any tips on that, on how to make your eyes not water while you're cutting onions, that would be greatly appreciated. Here, real quickly. Okay, so then once you get a little bit of olive oil in there, then you're going to add some salt and pepper to the vegetables. I don't add too much pepper. My family's not a huge fan of pepper, but it's good for seasoning. I usually like to try to use white and black pepper just because they hit different notes on your tongue. So because I know that our oven's ready, these are going to be popped into the oven for about 25 minutes. While we're doing that, we're also going to cut up the rest of the vegetables and everything else that goes with this. I'm going to set our timer 25 minutes. And we'll be good to go. Okay, so the next thing it tells us to do is to have our tomatoes. So the one thing I really like about HelloFresh is that they give you everything you need in your package, except for every once in a while they tell you need to add like olive oil or butter, a few things like that. So, I'm actually going to real quickly wipe off this blade. And I will get out my bowl. So I'm going to put all of the bowl. Pause it. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have our grape tomatoes. You could probably even possibly dice like a Roma tomato if you wanted to. For this recipe, if you don't have any grape tomatoes on hand or if you can't find them, or you could use cherry tomatoes. That actually might be a better option if you can't find grape tomatoes. And so again, this HelloFresh kit is the 2-person vegetarian kit that I got. And I got 3 recipes this week and I was just trying it out. We're not sponsored at all by HelloFresh. I just am testing it out and I decided to post a video about how easy it is to just grab out what you need from their little bags, because they bag everything separately. Like the 3 different recipes, and then they also have all these little containers. Everything is portioned out for you. So it's pretty easy. It'd be pretty easy for a quick evening meal. I'm using it today for lunch with our kiddos because we homeschool. They actually gave plenty enough for more than just 2 people, at least I feel. So then the next thing they want us to do is we're going to cut the cilantro length, chop it really fine. See, they even have the packages all labeled for you. So if you have more than one fresh herb, you know what fresh herb you're using. So, it's really fine. And give it a rough chop first. Remember, when you are cutting these, you want to tuck your fingers so that way they stay out of the way to your blade. Pretty fine. I don't know if you can see how fine I'm chopping this. So, this is actually not as fine as I initially want it. Let's see if I can get a little more. Don't do that with your blade either. Don't do that with your blade, it ruins your blade. You can see how fine that got chopped. I will take my bench scraper and I'm going to scrape it all over here to this side. So I'm going to use that in a couple of different areas. I love my bench scraper and my garbage bowl. So then the next thing they want you to do is mince the garlic. Now what I like about HelloFresh, they give you even the garlic and it is peeled already. That saves me time. My hands are still going to smell like garlic, but that's okay. I'm just using the same knife. Just because everything's going in the same thing anyway. If you really want to, you could always wipe off your knife in between. So for mincing garlic, you kind of want to make thin slices and then you're just going to run your knife through it. Make it as small as you can. It's okay if some of the cilantro is on there. together. Push off to the side. Now, they tell us to have our lemon. So, to get the most juice out of your lemon, it's good to roll your lemon a couple times on the cutting board or whatever cutting surface you're using. This time I will wipe this off, or at least rinse it. So you're going to cut your lemon in half and set it off to the side. I'm going to kind of remove some of the seeds here. Now, we're going to have and pit our avocado. Now, I really like my avocado peeler. I've had this for a very long time. It's from Cambridge Shop. It just cuts right through the skin pretty easily. That, and then you tap this a couple times and it should turn your pit. Then you just pop it right out. And then what does it want us to do? We're going to peel the avocado and cut it into small cubes. So it's really good because we can actually pop out the avocado. Since it wants it in small cubes, flip it over like that. You want to do things. You can do it like this, or you can first score with the side of your avocado knife, or even a butter knife, that works too. And you then could actually pop out already cubed avocados. You could do it this way too. Doing it in the now we're going to make the chimichurri sauce. So we're going to take a small bowl. We're going to combine the rest of the part of the cilantro. I saved about a tablespoon off in here, like they told me to. Put the rest of the cilantro in, and a half of a teaspoon of cumin. There's my half of a teaspoon. They actually give you a little bit more than a half of a teaspoon in your container. So if you wanted to add more, you always could. We'll stick with that to start with. And then we're going to just take a little bit of our minced garlic, not very much, just about a pinch. And I chose to keep the chili out because we have an allergy to, somebody who has an allergy to spicy food, or to spicy chilies. So I kept the chili out. We're going to squeeze, stir in a squeeze of lemon. So, I'm going to apply it in a citrus squeeze. It's pretty easy. You just put it in upside down. Put it over your container. And look at all that juice that came out. It helped that we also had rolled it. I'm just going to start with 1/2. And this is a large drizzle of olive oil. This was actually all the olive oil I had left. So I left it for the chimichurri sauce. And then it says to stir it. I'm going to go ahead and use a small whisk. Just to whisk this together. So it says to add a little bit of salt and pepper. There's a little bit of salt. Just a dash of pepper. And basically you want it to be like a loose drizzle. So it's moving pretty good. And this can be pretty good. I don't think I'm going to have to add any more lemon or anything like that. I'm going to set that off to the side. And we'll be back once the vegetables are almost done. Right, is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to cut the cheese, the grilling cheese, about 1/3 of an inch thick. Once again, I'm still using the Suntoku knife because it will help it not stick to the knife. Then I'm going to heat up a larger pan with some oil. And then it only takes a couple minutes to grill this cheese kind of on each side, just so it's kind of brown. I will actually use my non-stick skillet because that's actually what they prefer you to use in the recipe if you have one. Okay, so now I went ahead, I'm bringing the grilling cheese over here. I've drizzled some oil. Let's do some canola oil in there. Wait for it to get kind of hot. It's actually feeling pretty hot right now. So we're going to lay this cheese in here. And it says it will take 2 to 3 minutes on each side, or 1 to 2 minutes, excuse me, on each side, to kind of get a nice brown crust on it. Well, actually, this skillet's big enough I can actually fit all of my pieces in here. Remember, you don't want to overcrowd your skillets ever. And so now we're just going to wait a few minutes. Yes, turn this on.
It's good.
Okay, so now I think we're ready to flip. I see why they tell you to use a non-stick pan. They do stick just a tiny bit. That was not quite done to be ready to flip. You want these melty and just ooey gooey. So go on top of our vegetables that we have in the oven going. Remember, we're roasting our vegetables. Let's see. You can kind of tell which ones are sort of close to being ready to be flipped because they're kind of melty. And we'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys see how brown it's getting. This is kind of like the crust I was telling you guys about. So yeah, it's called grilling cheese. Trying to get all of these turned. This oil is extremely hot, so be very careful if you are grilling cheese. I think our potatoes are done and things. Okay, so I'm going to take out these middle ones because it looks like they are basically done.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on now?
Mm-hmm.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so I'm just switching some of these into the center. Get a little bit better cook on them because this pan is a little bit bigger than the thing that I'm using. And while this is kind of doing that, I'm going to real quickly grab out. And then that way I can move some of the other ones more in the center to kind of cook up a little bit better. If I can get these out.
Ready?
Okay, so we've pulled out our sweet potatoes and our onions. And those are just going to wait for us as we pull out the rest of this grilling cheese.
I thought those were potato potatoes, but I thought it was sweet potatoes. I was strictly until you said sweet potatoes.
You're recording everything you're saying. So, these are looking amazing, guys. Do you guys see these? They are so brown. Oh, be careful of the oil. Trying to just get these flipped over, and we'll be back. Okay, we're back. So now we are going to add the rest of the garlic to the cilantro that I stopped to the side, our tomatoes, our avocados, and then we're just going to do a squeeze of lemon. If you do not have a citrus squeezer like I had before, you could leave it cut side up. Then that way you do not get seeds into your thing. I'm going to toss that into my garbage bowl. Then you're just going to gently mix this together. Making kind of a cilantro, well, it's a sort of like a guacamole almost, because it has a lot of the same things that you're going to put into a guacamole, but kind of a tomato avocado salad with just a little bit of lemon juice, cilantro, and garlic. So now we're going to go ahead and plate this. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Ready?
Yeah.
So now you're just going to put a scoop or two of these roasted sweet potatoes and onions. Don't those look good? Come this way. And now we're going to add a little bit of our avocado tomato salad to it. Doesn't that look good? Then I'm going to put one of the grilling cheeses on it. And then just drizzle. Actually, let me find my thing. I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of this. Watch me make this grilling cheese and veggie dish. I will see you next time. Bye.